Helios Automotive Workshop. The fluorescent lights humming overhead. The smell of motor oil thick in the air. Maya Chen, 34 years old, single mother, grease staining her coveralls and oil permanently embedded under her short nails, is crouched beneath a brand new SUV, rebuilding its transmission with methodical precision. Her hands move with muscle memory, each motion efficient, practiced, exact. The kind of precision you don't learn from a manual. Then the click of expensive heels echoes across the concrete floor. CEO Vivian Helios enters, her presence cutting through the workshop like a blade. Tailored suit, sharp jawline, eyes that miss nothing. She's 31 years old, but carries herself like someone who's been fighting for respect her entire life. Vivian stops at Maya's workstation, her expression hardening as she watches Maya perform an old military pressure test, a technique not listed in any civilian automotive manual. "This isn't a naval base." Vivian's voice cuts through the workshop noise, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You're fired." The entire shop falls silent. Maya's hands freeze mid-motion. She slowly straightens, wiping her hands on a rag, her face carefully neutral despite the flush creeping up her neck. "I still have the afternoon shift," Maya says quietly, her voice steady despite the tremor underneath. "I need the money for my daughter's medication." Vivian doesn't flinch, doesn't soften. She simply turns and walks away, her heels clicking a rhythm of finality against the floor. Maya stands there for a moment, fists clenched at her sides, then she gathers her things. She walks toward the exit, head high, refusing to give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. Then the sound. Distant at first, but unmistakable. The heavy thump of rotor blades cutting through air. The building shakes slightly as an MH-60R Seahawk helicopter descends into the parking lot, Navy markings clear on its side. The side door slides open. A naval officer steps out, crisp uniform, commander's insignia on her collar, megaphone in hand. "We're here for Lieutenant Commander Raven 6. The entire workshop freezes. Every mechanic, every supervisor, every person in that building turns to stare, not at the helicopter, at Maya. Maya Chen wasn't always a mechanic, but nobody at Helios Automotive knew that. To them, she was just another floor worker, single mom, always taking the worst shifts, always quiet, always focused. The truth was more complicated. Maya was raising her 8-year-old daughter, Riley, alone. Riley had severe chronic asthma, the kind that meant emergency room visits, expensive medications, and an endless stream of medical bills that no insurance fully covered. So Maya worked double shifts, sometimes triple. Oil changes in the morning, transmission work in the afternoon, engine rebuilds at night. She never complained, never asked for help, never told anyone why she needed the money so desperately. But the other mechanics noticed things, strange things, like how Maya could diagnose an engine problem in 3 seconds flat, just by listening. "Cylinder 4 valve timing," she'd say, without even opening the hood. She was right every single time. One of the younger mechanics joked that after a while, you start looking like some kind of special forces person, listening for enemy aircraft or something. Maya just smiled, didn't answer. They also noticed her toolbox, military green, serial number scratched off, NATO stock codes barely visible. Nobody knew where it came from. Maya never explained. At home, in their small 2-bedroom apartment, things were different. Riley sat at the kitchen table doing homework, her breathing labored, inhaler always within reach. Maya cooked simple dinners, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, whatever stretched the budget. But Riley never felt poor, because her mother turned everything into an adventure. "Did you know," Maya would say, "that transmissions are like puzzles? You just have to find which piece is wrong." Riley would beam. Her mom knew everything. Maya was her entire world, and every decision Maya made, every shift she took, every moment of exhaustion she pushed through, it was all for Riley. In the executive office on the top floor, Vivian Helios sat behind an enormous desk, reviewing quarterly reports. She was 31 years old but looked older. Stress aged people fast. She'd inherited Helios Automotive from her father 2 years ago when he died suddenly. The board doubted her. Investors questioned her. Employees whispered, "She's too young, too emotional. She'll ruin everything." So Vivian became ice. No mistakes allowed, no excuses accepted, no weakness shown. Control everything or lose everything. That was her father's last lesson. She walked the factory floor daily, clipboard in hand, looking for inefficiency, looking for errors, looking for reasons to prove she was strong enough. That's when she saw Maya using that old technique, a military pressure test not in the company manual. Different meant wrong, wrong meant weakness, weakness meant failure. She didn't see a struggle. She didn't see a single mother. She saw a problem, and she solved it. Maximum impact, maximum control, maximum strength. She didn't ask questions, didn't verify if Maya's method actually worked better, didn't see how Maya's hands trembled or how her voice caught when she mentioned her daughter's medication. Vivian saw someone breaking her rules, and she fixed the problem. The other mechanics watched Maya leave. Some felt bad. Most stayed silent. One older mechanic, Frank, 62 years old who'd worked there for 30 years, shook his head. "That woman knows things we don't," he muttered. The younger ones laughed. "Yeah, like how to get fired." Frank didn't laugh. "Her toolbox has Naval Special Warfare insignia. I served. I recognize them." They ignored him. Old Frank was seeing things again, but Frank kept staring at Maya's empty workstation, at the military toolbox left behind, at the faded photo taped inside her locker. Maya in a flight suit, younger, looking harder, standing in front of a helicopter. The photo was turned face down, like Maya wanted to forget. Come that evening, Maya went to the pharmacy. Riley's prescription in hand, her final paycheck, insufficient, clutched in the other. The pharmacist looked at her with pity. "I'm sorry, you're still short $40. Maya stood there, silent, defeated. Riley needed that inhaler, and she'd failed her. Someone cleared their throat behind her. Maya turned. A woman in a naval officer's uniform, commander's insignia on her collar, was looking directly at her. "Maya Chen," the officer said quietly. Maya's face went pale. "That's not my name anymore." The officer stepped closer. "The Navy disagrees. Lieutenant Commander." Back at the shop, word spread fast. Maya got fired. The CEO destroyed her brutally in front of everyone. The younger mechanics gathered around the break room. Someone laughed. "Guess her military tricks didn't work out." Another added, "Should have followed the manual like everyone else. Probably lied about needing money for medication, too." They didn't know. They didn't care. Humiliation was entertainment. Frank, the older mechanic, stayed silent, but his jaw was tight. Meanwhile, Vivian sat in her office, reviewing the day's decisions. Firing Maya felt right, felt strong, felt in control. But something nagged at her, so she pulled up the security camera footage, rewound to Maya's workstation. She watched Maya perform the pressure test. Maya moved with precision, confidence, muscle memory. Not like someone guessing, like someone who'd done this 1,000 times under high-stakes conditions. Vivian zoomed in, watched the hand movements, then opened her laptop. She searched for military automotive repair techniques. 5 minutes later, her face went pale. Maya's method wasn't wrong. It was advanced, designed for rapid field repairs under combat conditions. 98% accuracy rate. Standard manual method, 73%. She'd fired Maya for being better. Vivian's hand shook slightly. She closed the laptop, pushed the feeling down. "I made the decision. I stand by it." But the doubt lingered. That night, Maya walked Riley home from school. Riley was breathing harder than usual. "Mom, I need my inhaler," she said softly. Maya's stomach twisted. "I know, sweetheart. We'll get it right now." They walked to the pharmacy 3 blocks away. Riley's breathing worsened. Inside, the pharmacist looked at them with compassion. "Miss Chen, I'm sorry. You're still $40 short." Maya pulled out her wallet, counted the bills, counted the change. $38.17. Not enough. Riley tugged her sleeve. "It's okay, Mom. I can breathe." She couldn't. Maya could hear the struggle. Other customers stared. Maya felt their judgment, their pity. She was a mother who couldn't afford her child's medication. A woman who couldn't provide. The pharmacist leaned in, whispered, "I can give you a sample, just this once." Maya's eyes burned. "Thank you." Outside, she helped Riley with the inhaler, watched her breathing slow. Riley looked up at her. "You're the best mom in the world." Maya hugged her tightly, face pressed against Riley's hair. Because she didn't feel like the best. She felt like a failure. Then, the sound of rotor blades, distant but unmistakable. Maya's head snapped up, instinct taking over. MH-60R, Seahawk variant, Navy Special Operations Transport. Why would it be here? The helicopter appeared over the buildings, descending toward the parking lot behind the pharmacy. People stopped, pulled out phones to record. The side door opened. An officer stepped out. Commander's rank caught the light. She walked directly to Maya and Riley, kneeling in front of Riley. "Hello, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Riley," the girl said shyly. The officer smiled warmly, reached into her pocket, pulled out a Navy Challenge coin. Eagle of Naval Special Warfare engraved on it, gold detailing. She placed it in Riley's hand. "This belongs to your mother. She earned it saving 14 lives." Riley looked at the coin, then up at Maya. "Mom? What does she mean?" Maya's voice was barely audible. "It's nothing." The officer looked at Maya. "Lieutenant Commander, the Admiral sent me personally." Maya shook her head. "I'm not." "Operation Black Tide. You're the only survivor who can identify the radar signature." The crowd pressed closer, listening, recording everything. Maya's voice hardened. "I left that life behind." The officer's tone became formal now. "A sailor is missing. Last known location, Gulf of Aden, 48 hours ago." She pulled out a tablet, showed Maya encrypted radar data. "You flew this exact route 17 times. You know the signal pattern." Maya stared at the screen, her mind already working. She saw the anomaly in the 3rd sector, low-altitude return. "That's not debris," she said quietly. "That's a downed bird. The pilot's still transmitting." The officer's eyes widened. "You can see that from the frequency shift?" Maya pointed. "Right here, means rotor drag. She's alive, hiding the helicopter." The crowd murmured. Someone shouted, "She's like a superhero." Riley squeezed Maya's hand tighter. "Mom? You save people?" Maya knelt down, eye level with her daughter. "I used to, baby. A long time ago." "Why did you stop?" Maya's voice broke. "Because I couldn't save everyone." The officer put a hand on Maya's shoulder. "But you can save this one, ma'am." At Helios Automotive, Vivian's assistant burst into her office. "Ma'am, you need to see this." She handed over her phone. Viral video, over 2 million views. Fired mechanic revealed as Navy hero. Vivian watched, frozen. Watched Maya analyzing military radar data in a pharmacy parking lot. Watched the officer call her ma'am. Watched the crowd's reaction. Watched Riley looking at her mother like she was a stranger. The comment section exploded. "CEO fired a hero. This company should be ashamed." Boycott Helios Automotive. Vivian's phone rang. The board chairman, voice furious. You fired a decorated naval officer? Do you know what this does to our reputation? Vivian couldn't speak. She'd destroyed a woman's dignity for following her training perfectly, for being excellent. The chairman continued, Fix this now, or you're out. The call dropped. Vivian sat in silence, staring at the video, at Maya's face, exhausted, trying to protect her daughter from the truth. Vivian had seen her as a problem, but she was a hero. The next morning, naval officers arrived at Helios Automotive. They needed Maya's full analysis, needed it now, needed a secure location. The Admiral's orders were clear. Bring Lieutenant Commander Raven 6, whatever it takes. Vivian stood at her office window, watching military personnel set up in her conference room, watching her employees whisper and point, watching her company's reputation crumble, because she'd been too proud, too rigid, too blind to see the woman behind the coveralls. Frank, the old mechanic, knocked on her door. Ma'am, I tried to tell you Maya was special. Vivian turned. Why didn't you speak louder? Frank shrugged sadly. Would you have listened? She had no answer, because they both knew she wouldn't. Respect, Frank said quietly. Real heroes never brag about their past. In the conference room filled with Navy personnel, laptops, secure communication equipment, classified data. Maya stood at the door, still in her oil-stained coveralls. Admiral Patricia Nguyen, 62 years old, gray hair and 3 rows of medals, stood when Maya entered. Extended her hand. Lieutenant Commander Chen, thank you for coming. Maya didn't shake it. I'm not a lieutenant commander anymore, ma'am. The Admiral's expression softened. You'll always be Raven 6 to us. Maya's jaw tightened. The Admiral gestured to a chair. Please, sit. Maya sat. Riley was with a neighbor, safe. That was all that mattered. The Admiral displayed a holographic screen, satellite imagery, radar signatures, weather patterns. Operation Black Tide, 5 years ago. Maya's hands clenched into fists. I know what it was. Then you know why we need you. The Admiral zoomed in on the Gulf of Aden. Lieutenant Sarah Webb, 34 years old, helicopter pilot, missing for 48 hours. She showed a photo. Young face, confident smile. Maya's breath caught. She was part of the new squadron, trained on the same routes you flew. The Admiral's voice lowered. The same routes where you lost your crew. Maya stood abruptly. I can't do this. You already did it at the pharmacy. Identified the signature in 10 seconds. Maya turned away. That doesn't mean I can save her. The Admiral stood, walked closer. You saved 14 people during Black Tide, under enemy fire, in a storm, with damaged aircraft. Maya's voice broke. I lost 3. You saved 14. I should have saved 17. The room went silent. The Admiral placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. The 3 you lost. They made a choice. They held the line so the others could escape. Maya's eyes burned. I was the pilot. I was responsible. You were a hero. You still are. Maya shook her head. Heroes don't quit. Heroes don't end up broke, doing oil changes, unable to afford their kids' medication. The Admiral's grip tightened. Heroes do whatever it takes to protect what they love, even if it means leaving glory behind. Maya looked up, met the Admiral's eyes. You didn't quit. You prioritized your daughter over your career, her safety over your reputation. She pointed at the data. But now Sarah Webb has a daughter too. She's 6 years old, waiting for her mother to come home. Maya closed her eyes, saw Riley's face, imagined another little girl, waiting, hoping. She opened her eyes. Show me everything. The room cleared. Maya spent the next 3 hours analyzing satellite passes, radio interference patterns, weather systems, ocean currents. Her mind worked like it used to. Fast, precise, relentless. The Navy personnel watched in awe as she saw connections they didn't, patterns they couldn't identify. Finally, she pointed at a specific coordinate. 17 nautical miles off the Somali coast. She went down in a coral reef system. The intelligence officer frowned. Our scan showed nothing there. Maya zoomed in. Coral creates a radar shadow. The helicopter's titanium frame hides under the reef structure. She checked tide data. You have maybe 8 hours before high tide completely covers the cockpit. The admiral grabbed her radio. Launch rescue. Now. Meanwhile, Vivian waited outside the conference room. She'd stood there for 2 hours, watching Maya work through the window. She'd never seen concentration that pure, that absolute, the kind that came from life or death stakes. This wasn't a mechanic. This was a warrior. The door opened. The admiral stepped out. Ms. Helios, we need to talk. They walked to Vivian's office. The admiral closed the door. Your employee, Maya Chen. Do you know what she did? Vivian's voice was quiet. I'm learning. The admiral pulled out a file, handed it to her. Vivian opened it. Service record, commendations, mission reports. Operation Black Tide. 17 Navy SEALs trapped under enemy fire in storm conditions. 0 visibility. Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen, call sign Raven 6, flew into the kill zone twice. First run, rescued 14. Aircraft damaged, hydraulic system failing. She could have left. Should have left. She went back for the last 3. Under enemy fire, engine hit, forced landing. She survived. Her co-pilot, crew chief, and door gunner didn't. She pulled them from the wreckage, defended their bodies for 6 hours until rescue arrived. Vivian's hands shook. She saved 14 lives, and you're punishing her for the 3 she couldn't save? The admiral's voice was steel. I'm not punishing her. Life did that. She punishes herself every day. Vivian looked up, tears in her eyes. I fired her. I know. I humiliated her. I know. How do I fix this? The admiral stood. You start by seeing her. Really seeing her. She walked to the door, stopped. Maya Chen chose to leave the Navy not because she was weak, but because she found something stronger, a reason to live instead of a reason to die. She left Vivian sitting alone, staring at the file, at Maya's photo in uniform, younger eyes, harder, that had seen too much. Then Vivian pulled up the security footage again. Maya in coveralls, smiling at coworkers, head down, focused, hiding not from shame, but from pain. Vivian grabbed her coat. She drove to Maya's apartment. It was small, run down, paint peeling. She knocked. Maya answered, surprised. Ms. Helios? Vivian looked past her, saw Riley playing with the challenge coin, saw the empty fridge through the kitchen door, the medical bills stacked on the counter. She saw everything she'd been too blind to notice. Her voice broke. I'm sorry. Maya just stared. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I didn't try. Riley came over, tugged Maya's sleeve. Mom, is that the pretty lady from TV? Vivian knelt to Riley's eye level. Hi, sweetheart. I'm Vivian. I work with your mom. Riley smiled. You look like a superhero, like Wonder Woman. Vivian laughed, genuine, the first time in years. Your mom's the real superhero. Riley beamed. I know. Vivian stood, looked at Maya. Can we talk? Maya nodded. They stepped outside. Vivian took a breath. I was wrong about everything. You weren't breaking rules. You were demonstrating excellence. Maya stayed silent. I fired you because I was afraid. Afraid of making mistakes. Afraid of losing control. She looked into Maya's eyes. You deserved respect. I humiliated you. I'm sorry. Maya's voice was soft. I'm used to it. You shouldn't have to be. Silence between them. Then Maya spoke. They found Sarah Webb, 2 hours ago, alive, because of your coordinates. Vivian's eyes widened. You saved her? Maya shook her head. I just remembered. The ocean did the rest. You're still a hero. Maya looked back at her apartment, at Riley through the window. I'm just a mom trying to protect my daughter. Vivian smiled sadly. Maybe that's the bravest thing of all. In the next morning, emergency board meeting. Vivian stood at the head of the table, surrounded by 8 board members, all older, all skeptical. The chairman spoke first. Ms. Helios, we're here to discuss your firing of Maya Chen. Another board member chimed in. PR disaster, viral video, boycott threats, we look like villains. Vivian took a breath. Gentlemen, I didn't call this meeting to defend myself. Silence. I called it to reinstate Maya Chen, with a promotion. The room exploded. Absolutely not, she's a floor worker. This sets a terrible precedent. The chairman banged his gavel. Ms. Helios, we can't promote someone we just fired. It shows weakness. Vivian's voice cut through. Firing her showed weakness. Bringing her back shows integrity. She displayed the viral video on the big screen. This woman identified a missing pilot's location in 10 seconds. The Navy couldn't do it in 48 hours. She pulled up Maya's military record. This woman saved 14 lives under crossfire in conditions that would kill most people. She looked each board member in the eye. And this company humiliated her in front of everyone for using a technique that had 98% accuracy. The chairman leaned back. What are you proposing? Director of Technical Operations. Full benefits, housing assistance, health care for her daughter. That's a leadership position. She doesn't have a degree. Vivian's voice rose. She has something better, field experience that saved lives. The room murmured, until one older board member, a retired general, spoke up. I know about Operation Black Tide. It was classified, but I know. If she's the same Raven 6, we owe her more than a job. We owe her our respect. He stood. I vote yes. One by one, hands raised. The chairman, last to vote, finally nodded. Approved, but Vivian. She has to accept. That afternoon, Vivian found Maya at the elementary school, picking up Riley. Other parents stared. The viral video had made her famous. Maya hated it. Vivian approached cautiously. Maya, can we talk? Maya tensed. If this is about the video, I didn't ask for any of this. I know. That's not why I'm here. Vivian handed her an envelope. What is this? Your new contract, if you want it. Maya opened it, her eyes widening. Director of Technical Operations. This is a mistake. It's not. I'm a mechanic. You're a leader. You just forgot. Maya shook her head. I can't lead people. I couldn't even save my own crew. Vivian stepped closer. You saved 14. The crew survived because of you. 3 died because of me. 3 died serving. You survived to honor them. Maya looked at Riley, playing on the swings. Vivian continued. She deserves a mom who doesn't have to work 3 shifts, who can afford her medication, who can give her a future. Maya's voice broke. I don't deserve this. Yes, you do. Riley ran up to Maya, grabbed her hand. Mom, are you crying? Maya wiped her eyes. Happy tears, baby. Riley looked at Vivian. Are you making my mom happy? Vivian smiled. I'm trying. Riley pulled the challenge coin from her pocket, handed it to Vivian. You keep it, for helping my mom. Vivian knelt, took the coin. Sweetheart, this belongs to your mother. Riley shook her head. Mom says heroes share, so you're part of our team now. Vivian's eyes filled with tears as she looked at Maya. Maya was smiling. genuine, for the first time since Vivian had met her. "Okay," Maya said quietly. "Okay, I accept. For her." Vivian stood, extended her hand. "Welcome back, Director Chen." Maya shook it. "Thank you, Ms. Helios." Call me Vivian." Riley jumped between them. "Now we're Team Raven." They both laughed. Genuine, healing laughter. 3 weeks later, Maya's new office was clean, organized, photos of Riley on the desk. She wore a button-down shirt, which still felt strange, but Riley had picked it out, said she looked professional. The technical team respected her, listened closely, learned. She taught them the military methods, faster, more accurate. Productivity increased 23%. Quality control errors dropped to near zero. The board was impressed, but Maya didn't care about that. What mattered was she could afford Riley's medication without counting coins. That afternoon, Vivian knocked on her door. "Got a minute?" Maya gestured to a chair. Vivian sat, looking nervous. "I wanted to thank you. The company's reputation is recovering. Because of you." Maya shook her head. "I'm just doing my job. You're doing more than that. You're changing the culture here. People feel safe making suggestions, trying new things. Because you listen." Maya smiled slightly. "In the military, good leaders listen. Bad leaders talk." Vivian laughed. "I was a bad leader." "You're learning." Vivian pulled out the challenge coin, Riley's coin. "I want to give this back. It belongs to your daughter." Maya closed her hand around it. "She gave it to you. She meant it." Vivian's eyes filled. "Why? I hurt you. I hurt her." "Because she sees people the way I used to see them, before war taught me to spot threats." Maya stood, walked to the window. "Riley still sees the good first. I want to protect that." Vivian joined her. "She's lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her." They stood in comfortable silence. Then Vivian spoke softly. "Maya, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you ever stop seeing the ones you lost?" Maya's voice was quiet. "No. But now I see the ones I saved too. The balance helps." Vivian nodded. "I'm trying to find that balance, between strength and compassion." Maya looked at her. "You're almost there." Down below, through the window, Riley played in the company daycare. Happy, healthy, safe. Maya's voice was almost a whisper. "She asked me last night if heroes ever get to rest." "What did you tell her?" "I said the best heroes find new battles worth fighting." Vivian smiled. "What's your battle now?" Maya watched Riley laugh. "Making sure she never has to fight mine." Vivian put a hand on Maya's shoulder. "You're not fighting alone anymore." Maya turned, smiled genuinely. "I know." Outside, the sound of helicopter blades, distant, fading. Maya didn't tense, didn't freeze, just watched her daughter play, finally at peace. Chak Sosat. Sometimes we judge people by the uniform they wear, the title on their business card, the car they drive, the house they live in. We see only the surface, and we stop looking. But behind every ordinary face could be an extraordinary story. A single parent working 3 jobs, fighting for their child's future. A veteran carrying invisible scars, choosing peace over glory. A leader who learned humility through devastating loss. Maya Chen didn't need a title to be a hero. She was a hero when she wore coveralls and counted change at the pharmacy, when she chose her daughter over her pride. True honor doesn't demand recognition. It acts quietly, serves humbly, protects fiercely. And when the moment comes that someone needs saving, it rises, not for applause, but because it's the right thing to do. Vivian learned that judging without understanding is cruelty, that control without compassion is tyranny, that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit you are wrong. We all have the power to humiliate or to uplift, to destroy dignity or to restore it. the choice defines us. Not our titles, not our wealth, not our authority, but how we treat people when we have the power to hurt them. That's where character is revealed. That's where heroes are forged. Not on battlefields, but in everyday moments of kindness, respect, and human decency. Subscribe if you believe that true honor never fades, no matter where life takes you.